Duel. This is Blake's 7 Series 1. Space Commander Travis is back after Blake and his crew. It all comes together on this planet where these two women, who are the surviving sort of ghosts or spirits of this race that had just warred itself to death, they're going to take two representatives from every crew. We got Blake, we got, of course, Travis, joined by Jenna, and a mutoids. We're introduced to the mutoids in this one, and they're going to fight this out hand-to-hand combat and see who wins. If this sounds familiar, it is a Star Trek Gorn episode, the famous Gorn episode where the two ships can watch what plays out. So that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this episode. I think this episode's okay. I'm not dying over it that much. So let's talk about it a little bit more. We're going to use my space system. So story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. Choose the best you can get in any category. Up until now, there's been a bunch of episodes that have been gotten 10 out of 10. There's been, maybe a 9 or 8 or 8 or 9. This one's going to be the lowest ranking one so far. I don't hate it. I think the problem is that I associate this with the Gorn story so quickly that it's just sort of like, it didn't further that much of the ongoing story with the Federation. It was more just like a personal story with Travis and Blake. So for the storyline, I'm going to give it a 1. So if I give a score of 1 point, that just means it was okay. So 0 is garbage, 2 is amazing, 1 is okay. So it was okay. If I give this episode a 5 out of 10, it was an okay episode. That's how the system works. It's going to get better than 5 out of 10, but I'm giving it a 1 for the story. As I said, we've seen this kind of thing before. There's no doubt in your mind that Blake's going to win this confrontation. There's no doubt in your mind that he's going to get the opportunity to kill Travis, and then he's not going to take it. They do give a good reason to not kill Travis, which is to say that if I kill Travis, they'll just send someone else, and I'm better off facing the guy I know I can beat. That's a good excuse to not kill Travis. It's not plot armor exactly, but it's a little bit plot armor because they could always say, well, instead of Travis, we're going to send 2 guys after you, right? So, there's that possibility. But anyway, I still thought the story was okay. My mind wasn't blown on this particular one. The pacing also suffered because of that. I felt it was a lot of running around in the forest, and the artistry is going to suffer a little bit too. When you know exactly what's going to happen, when you can telegraph it, then you're just watching a show, you're not engaging as much. So you're just watching things play out. That's sort of my pacing problem. I'm not bored. I wasn't bored like, oh God, but I'm just sort of like, okay, I'm just waiting. Yep, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. For the artistry, same thing. I'm going to give it a 1. Again, there's not really anything big going on. They found a little forest area and shot there. The planet itself looked pretty good. I'm still giving it a 1 because the planet that they were on, that kind of ghostly planet, was pretty neat. So they cut back to there, but really it was just one set. So it wasn't like a big, huge planet, but still really cool. The ladies look good, but they could manifest themselves and be transparent and all that kind of thing. So that was kind of cool. I guess I'll give it 1 point. The characters, however, I'm going to give it a full score of 2 out of 2. I love the Blake 7 characters. That's the reason to watch this show more so than anything else, is the great characters and the dialogue. Travis is bloody on fire in this one. It's like he doesn't care about anything but destroying Blake. We got a chance to see the mutoids here. So they're like these vampires, and they need constant blood capsules. So it's like they run out, they have to replace their blood. And there's a cool part where the mutoid tries to get Jenna's blood a few times. That's kind of neat. Again, Jenna was great in this episode. Blake was great in this episode. Everything where Blake and Travis were talking to each other and going back and forth, that stuff was amazing. It's just gold. So the characters in this show are so good that the character section in my space system is probably always going to get a 2 or even maybe a 1.5 or a 2. I've seen this 3 times. This is my 3rd go through. And I just can't see myself really going lower because I just love the character, especially Avon, who's my favorite. For the enjoyment factor, I'm actually going to give it a 1.5. My enjoyment factor is sort of a loose rating where I can kind of give it whatever I want. The way I think about it is that, did I genuinely just like the episode? Yes, I think I did like the episode. Would I watch it again? Definitely. And would I purchase it? Yes, definitely I would purchase it. But there's just that slight, the excitement level isn't there. Like when you're like when you're thinking back and you're like, oh, which ones do I want to watch again? Rumors of Death, right? It was probably my favorite episode. There's those certain episodes that stand out in your mind. You're like, oh, I gotta watch that one again. This one doesn't stand out, so I have to ding it a little bit. Overall, I still really though enjoyed this one because I love Blake 7. Again, I'm comparing Blake 7 to Blake's 7. I'm not comparing Blake 7 to Survivors, which is a great show, another Terry Nation show, which you should check out. I'm not comparing this to The Prisoner, another classic great show. I'm comparing it to itself. Blake 7 is my third favorite show, so I would definitely take this episode over anything that's new in sci-fi, where everything new in sci-fi is just boring. So overall score of 6.5 out of 10. It is the lowest ranking one so far this series. However, I still really enjoyed it. If you like my space system, please like the video and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Blake 7 and this episode. So that's it. Consider subscribing to the channel. That's it. Thanks. Until next time.